Hey guys, Mike, your host of Craft Beer Storm, and it's Monday. So usually we have a brewer come on or a founder in a brewery. So I've decided to interview myself, let you know what's happening. I had somebody scheduled for this evening, and they had a last minute conflict, so we had to postpone, and we're going to do it next week. But hey, Beara Brewing Company. Started it. It was originally Beara Irish Brewing Company. 2014, we opened the taproom doors. Just had an idea. Was in England. Always went to Ireland and had the bread, and the bread's delicious. It's Irish bread. And, I'm like, why doesn't it make any good beer in the U.S., like Irish beer with this grain? It's delicious. So I always had it in the back of my mind. We came out to Portsmouth, New Hampshire for a director of audit job. So I came up from New York and got the job. I'm a CPA, so I got the job. And I was just working there. They were supposed to do an IPO, like when I got up there, and they postponed it. And they kept postponing it. But I, got them in shape with controls and stuff like that. But I was kind of getting bored, I'm like, I was like in my cube. I'm like, this can't be it. This just can't be it. There's got to be more to this. So I'm like, and I saw the craft beer explosion happening in the Northeast there in New England, especially. And I'm like, this beer is awesome. I'm like, I got this idea. Let me do it. So I went into the basement, and I was able to get this Irish barley from a local store. I contacted a bunch of them, and only one of them got back to me. He says, "Yeah, we can get it for you." And I went over and I got it, and I learned how to brew in the basement, which a lot of brewers, they start off in the basement and they brew. And I was making beer with this Irish barley. We were making ales and brown ale stouts, and people liked it. So we did a Kickstarter, and I raised like $11,000 out of the Kickstarter. People were giving me money. I don't know who these people were, but they were giving us money. So it was like another idea. And unfortunately, that job was still going on. But then they outsourced my role, so I was out of work. I'm like, all right, what are we going to do? So we're up in New Hampshire. I have like 3 kids, and took the 401k, and we opened the brewery. And I got a lot of advice from a lot of other brewers in New Hampshire, and just got advice from people from around the country, just contacting them. And the brewers and people in this industry are fantastic. They share knowledge, really cool people. If you go to Great American Beer Festival, Craft Brewers Conference, fantastic. If you go to festivals, talk to these people. They're awesome. And that's kind of why I do this, to help them out. It's they don't have huge budgets for marketing, but anything I can do to get people on and just make people aware of them. I wish somebody would have done this for me. But, we opened the brewery in 2014, opened a tap room, and I had like a distributor. We were widely distributed all over New Hampshire. We had these awesome 22-ounce bottles, which I could make a margin on. I can make them. It's a business, right? You have to make money in order to keep things going, keep the doors open, the lights on, people paid. And 22-ounce bottles are great, and all of a sudden cans came in. I keep complaining about cans, but that's the reason. Then the margin on it shrank, and to fill these cans, it was just crazy. It took us like 5 guys. It took us 5 guys like 6 hours to make 40 cases. It's like ridiculous. And then we had one of the larger chains in town and in New Hampshire, and they wanted like half of that, like right away. So we gave it to them. And the rest of it, we sprinkled it around the state and kept some for the tap room. And but just the demand went up, and we couldn't keep up with it. And we even contract brewed. But I was just looking at the numbers on what we were making. The volume of liquid went up, and the price went down. So that's not a good thing. So stopped doing that. Focused on the tap room again. And, one thing led to another, and, I started the podcast in the interim, the Craft Beer Store podcast, and focusing in on that now. So the tap room is up for sale. The brewery is up for sale in Portsmouth. I'm looking to exit that. It's perfect for somebody who wants to start a brand. There's a lot of opportunity. Email me, michael@craftbeerstorm.com. It's a ridiculous price for the entire brewery. 7-barrel system, $79,000. You're not going to find that anywhere else, like in the country or anywhere. It costs a lot of multiples of that to open that thing. So, but I'd like to pass it on to somebody and have them take it. But yeah, we built it from scratch. I really didn't have a lot of knowledge on brewing, but I obtained the knowledge. And me and my 401k, we opened the brewery. And and people liked the beer. People came in. We had 6 lines on tap, and they had all the beer, and they like, what? I can't find one here that I don't like. A lot of people said this. And I'm not tooting my own horn. It's just the facts. And you can ask anybody that worked there. It's the same thing. And then we had employees that worked there, and some were great, and some we didn't end on great terms. But I appreciate them being there. And Portsmouth is a great town. But followed the passion. Had the passion. Opened the brewery, and making beer is much better than filling out a spreadsheet, I think. But you got to fill out those spreadsheets for companies in order to keep the bills paid, and you have families and stuff like that. So, kind of doing a hybrid now. So, shifting gears. We got the podcast, right? Repurposing. I have all this knowledge now because I opened the brewery from scratch. I know I'm a commercial brewer. I am. We're at the Great American Beer Festival, and now I'm getting media passes from Brewer Association for all these events, and some new interesting news where we have like a craft brew bracket. So we got a bunch of breweries competing against each other in one day. They bring their best beer, and we have people vote for it. And the first one's going to happen in Essex County in Massachusetts at the Hotel Salem. It's going to happen at the end of March. So keep your eyes out for that. I'm also going to the Craft Brewers Conference in San Antonio in mid-April. We'll probably have a table there, for this and do something with the podcast, but also, with these events we'd like to create. We can do it there. We can all do it anywhere, pretty much. There's breweries all over the country. 10,000 breweries, approaching 10,000 breweries. So, if you're interested, let me know, Michael at craftbeerstorm.com. But we'll probably have a table there. And, hey, if we can find some investors, we'll open another brew pub. I'm cool with that. I think everybody who opens a brewery should probably have partners in the beginning so you can kind of, iron the stuff out. There's bumps in the road. People can, step in, and, somebody else has a hard time. Another person can take over, and it's better with partners. But, onward. It's been a great ride, brewing there. And, New Hampshire's a great state. But it's time to move on. And I have the facility for sale. It's awesome. It's awesome. Come in, step in, brew. And there you go. So that's my interview of myself. And that's a story. It's a roller coaster. Opening a brewery is a roller coaster. And things change. Now I see all this hard seltzer coming. I just had a story that came out Friday. Sam Adams, Boston Beer Company, is making more non-beer products than they are beer because of the trends and the way they change. You never know what's going to happen. But you got to be flexible, and just, be nimble. And I guess he saw it coming because he was starting with the seltzer. And now he's selling more of the seltzer than he is beer because a lot of the smaller breweries are taking market share away from him. And he said that, he says this publicly. So, but it's a business. He realizes it's a business and he has to do that. So, yeah, that's that's your Beara Brewing Company on the podcast, on the Craft Beer Storm podcast. I just interviewed myself. If you have any questions and comments, please let me know. Hey, go on iTunes, go on whatever platform you are, subscribe. You get these podcasts downloaded automatically. We do 3 a week. We do one. We interview a brewer or somebody in the industry, like I just did. And then on my Mondays and on Wednesdays, we do craft brew, beer styles. And we go down the Great American Beer Festival list, and we pick a different style every week and go through the, hops, maltiness, ABV, glass to serve it in, examples of the style, winners of the GABF for that style. It's awesome stuff because it's not just one or two, usually lagers are very popular, or maybe like a dark beer, they say a stout, but there's just so many different types of beer and they're all delicious. And on Fridays we do craft brew news, so the drama of the week, all the news that happened. So I figure I was doing the news on Friday. I'm like, well, why don't I just interview myself? Because it's pretty much news of what's going on with me. And so onward with this Craft Beer Storm podcast. I've had a lot of great individuals on, a lot of great founders, brewers, great people. I'm going to have more. We got emails out to Sam, Dogfish Head. You got to get on, brother. Jim Cook, I'm right up the street. I'll come to you. Let's do it. Kim at New Belgium. We keep contacting you guys. Where are you guys? But if you have any connections, email me, michael@craftbeerstorm.com. We'll get them on. Anybody in the craft beer industry. Love to talk to them. That's your podcast for today. I hope you have a great rest of the day. We will see you on Wednesday with Beer Styles. Take care.